Hey there, this is Dan. I wanted to give you a quick overview of the RealPython CMS. So this is the content management system that's powering all of RealPython, all the tutorials, all the authored posts, and well, all the content on realpython.com. So as an author on RealPython, you will get your own username and login to log into the CMS. And you can find the login at realpython.com/pbjt. So it's hidden a little bit, it's not /admin, it's /pbjt because peanut butter jelly time. Anyway, so when you're onboarded as an author on RealPython, you will get a username and a login or a password. And when you log in to the site, like this is pretty much what you see. So I'm just going to go over these in reverse order because probably the first thing you want to do when you log into the site for the first time and you're actually joining RealPython as an author, you want to update your author profile. So all authors on RealPython are getting an author profile, which is a publicly visible page on the site. And I just want to show you what this looks like. So for example, here's my author profile. Sort of a landing page for myself as an author, so I can talk about the other stuff that I do. And on your author page, you're more than welcome, to mention where people can find you on the internet. And essentially, it's just free-form text, and you can tell people about yourself as much as you like, and link out, to consulting services that you offer, or your Twitter profile, your GitHub profile, just to get some visibility from this as well. And this is also going to be a hub that contains all of the articles that you wrote for the site. And then on each post, if you wrote a post for RealPython, it will also be tagged with your name. And at the end of the post, there will be an about box with a short bio and then a link where people can find more about you. So you can pretty much put whatever you want here. I'm going to show you how this works. So you can actually go around and look at all the other author profiles on the site when you're logged in. However, you can't change them. So you can only change your own profile, but maybe this is useful for inspiration. So what you can do here, so right now I'm logged in as this user. So you can go in and, well, first of all, you can preview your author page if you make changes. And there are three things you want to edit here. So number one is the image. So that's this one here. And that's also used on the individual tutorials. So if you want to modify that image, then you can click on that image and you can upload another file. It should be a square image, and you can just leave all of the other stuff as is. But you can update that image if you want to, or you can also just send it over to me and I'll do it for you. The other thing you want to update is this short bio for your author profile. So this is limited to about 300 characters. So it should be kind of short and sweet and just maybe get people interested in what you do and what you're about. And you're pretty much welcome to put whatever you want here. So this is purely text-based. And then down here, there's a long form author bio. We can actually put in markdown text, and you can place links, and you can do formatting. So I can just format this differently, and you could also insert images if you wanted to, and place links. And I can save that. And I guess sort of the workflow you want to do here, because it doesn't automatically save, is you want to go save and continue editing, and then just refresh the preview, and you will see the update, because it might not be live on the site yet because the stuff gets cached. So let's just undo these changes, and yeah, you can just go in and you can go nuts. Like you can write a really long about page if you want to, and just link out to your other stuff and tell people what you're about. You don't have to. You can keep it short, but you can if you want. And then there are also some special URLs that I'm not using yet, but you could plop in your social media accounts, and we might feature them in other places on the site. So moving on, after you set up your author profile, because it's going to be visible on the whole site, after you've done that, let's go back to the home here, and let's take a look at posts. So these are all the Python tutorials and articles that are up there on RealPython. And this is kind of the main interview that you'll be working with as an author. Again, here you can see all of the posts on the site and all of the metadata and also preview links and stuff. You can just click on those and also which ones are live on the site. But once again, you can only modify your own posts. So in this case, this user or this author has one test post associated with it. And I'm just going to go in, and this is typically what you would do when you want to submit new work to the site. So here, I might go in and update this draft. So I might say, okay, this is an amazing test post, and then you want to enter some kind of description. I'm just going to put some blind text here. Keywords are not super necessary, but you could put some stuff like Python and test or something like that. All right, and so we put some keywords. The featured image, you could pick an image here if you want it. So this could be, if we've already uploaded a featured image for your post, let's say, I'm just going to pick this one here. We could do that. Typically, I would just create that image for you, or someone else on the team would create that featured image for the article for you once we're ready to get it published. So you don't really have to work with this. Just wanted to show you what it's for. And then here in the text box, this is where the article contents go, right? And this supports Markdown. You can also make this full screen, and it has a limited preview ability. So if you make this bold, for example, it will show up here, but it's not really going to look like the way it's going to look on the site. So it's more like a live preview, but it's going to be different than what it looks like on the site. And you can do all kinds of formatting here. So you can insert quotes, and you can also insert code blocks. So the way you do this is basically by doing these triple backticks and then putting the language code. So for Python, you would just go Python, and then I could say define my func, return hello, and we can just put some text, and we can put some more like blind text or some filler here, and then maybe actually put a subhead here, code example, and then another one down here. And so you can format this post well, however you want, however you think it makes sense. And when you're done with that, and you probably want to save this as you go, you can just click Save and Continue Editing. And once you saved it, you can preview this post. So it won't be live at this point yet. So you're going to see here, this is a preview. It's not yet live, but it will have all of the metadata here, and you can kind of see when it's scheduled to go live. I haven't built out yet a way to really have posts transition through these states. So what I just do is set a publish date in the future, and the table of contents will be automatically generated for you. And the code blocks will be formatted and rendered out for you. And you can keep editing this post, and it will update, and you can make sure it looks really, really good. And you can also see your About the Author box here, and comments are disabled until this post goes live. So kind of the workflow here is you would go in and say another section. This is great. Put some more blind text here. And then typically what I do when I'm working on a new post is I would just click the Save and Continue Editing button, and then click the Preview button again, and it's going to reload. Or I could also reload this other page here if you had two tabs open at the same time, and then you're going to be able to iterate on this stuff really quickly and kind of see what it looks like on the site. Now there might be some hiccups. Sometimes there might be like a parsing error with this Markdown stuff because we have some customizations here. And this might happen. If it happens, just give me a heads up. Usually I write this stuff in a different editor and then just do the final polishing in this editor here, but you're more than welcome to work directly on this, whatever works best for you. In the end, it just needs to be Markdown, and it needs to look good on the site. What I want to show you here also is how to add images to your posts. So again, this system, so what I did here, okay, click through the images section, and with this system I can pick an image that I can embed on the site. So let's say I had uploaded some kind of related image that I wanted to include with this post, you can go here, and in this section here, it gives you an embed code for this post. So typically what you do, just copy this embed code and then plunk it down where you want this, this image to be featured. And by default, it will center. I would just leave that as is. Basically, you're referencing this image here. And just show you what this looks like. Okay, so I saved it, hit refresh, and because it was, oh, okay, right. So now the now the preview link here was gone. So just needed to click on that again. So it's loading a cached version of the post. And yeah, so that included the image. With sort of this workflow, you don't have to worry about putting the alt text and stuff in the post. It actually goes into it's associated with the image, right? So we can upload these images, update them in one place, and generate thumbnails and do all that stuff. You don't have to worry about it. You just say, hey, I want this asset here with this embed code, and the site is going to make sure everything is correct. So okay, so one more thing you could do here is pick a bunch of categories. So this is, let's just say this is related to Python and testing, and then when you do that and refresh, you can see here, you know, this is now featured in Python and testing, and it's also going to generate a couple of related posts here. Anyway, so this was kind of the rundown of how to add your post to the site, and how to work on your draft and get it ready. And like I said, you can actually go in and look at all of the other posts, their source code. So if you're ever wondering how something is implemented and what the other how the other language examples work, you can just find that on the other posts on the site. And yeah, and you can't really break anything. So you know, if you're not an author on this post, if you try and save it, it's just going to give you an error. And so you can feel free, you know, to jump around and look at how things are done. And then with your own posts, you will always be able to edit them. And you can also, you know, filter by your own posts here, and then yeah, make your updates and work with the site. So you can, you know, you can kind of lay that out however you want, what makes it easiest for you to work with, and apply all these formattings, make sure it looks really, really good. And when we're ready to publish the post, you can tell me, and we're going to schedule it, and it's going to go live at the scheduled time. So, okay, this is getting a little bit long, so I don't want to keep you on this video for too long. Yeah, so we looked at images. You know, including images is pretty straightforward. Just got to remember that it works with this embed code, and that should work pretty great. Like I said, you know, I'm building the CMS from scratch for real Python because I want the flexibility to do exactly what the site needs. So this is all a bit of a work in progress, but the feature that I showed you, they should be pretty stable. If anything happens, you know, if anything breaks, just give me a heads up. I'll fix it. I'll get onto it. And once again, it's great to have you on board on the team. If you've got any questions, just let me know. And I'm looking forward to launch your first article on the site. I think it's going to be really cool. Real Python gets almost 500,000 page views a month. So it's one of the biggest Python sites on the web. And you're going to be featured on the site as an author. And you can link to your own stuff and tell the world what you're all about. All right. So like I said, let me know if you have any questions. And I hope this was helpful.